My name is Jean-Philippe Labrousse, and I have a degree in chemical engineering and entrepreneurship. And for the past 20 years, I have like over 20 years of experience in the production and manufacturing for the local market. The company I'm representing today is La PLSA, and we manufacture a wide range of like household cleaning products and industrial cleaning products. Anything from bleach, disinfectants, laundry detergent, dishwashing liquid, hand soaps, sanitizers, over 40 different products right now. So today, my presentation is probably going to be more technical than in terms of like trying to understand what scaling up local production really means and how to go about it. Like I said, I have an engineering mind, so if I think in a very technical manner. So basically, what I wanted to talk about is scaling up production. Scaling is actually a key element of growing any business, to the point that sometimes the term growth and scaling are used interchangeably. However, in practice, there is a subtle difference between those two approaches and the way that you approach each growth and scaling. Growth is an output focus metric, looking at what your manufacturing business is producing. And this could be in terms of production volume, run rates, customers, warehouse space, revenues. So basically, growth is a process of increasing these outputs for the benefit of the business. On the other hand, scaling is more of an input focus metric. So looking at what needs to be done in order to produce these growth outputs. And this includes the number of employees you have, the number of machines you use, the raw materials you buy, and the time required to manufacture a particular product. Okay, so basically, scaling a production business involves regularly reevaluating your processes, your systems, and working practice to ensure that you're able to drive the growth of the business. Okay, so an example I could give for let's say, in order to increase your production capacity by 100%, let's say, you could double the amount of machines that you use or the amount of time that you run them. However, these measures will require more space and more staff, and that's basically what scaling is in the company, is basically what you're going to put in order to be able to output more growth. Okay, I don't know if everybody's following here. So scaling a manufacturing business in a local production business presents several challenges that can limit your growth if you don't address them proactively. One of the main challenges that we have is sourcing raw materials and components. So basically, the supply of materials and components is the most basic limiter of your production capacity. So it's essential to ensure that you can not only source enough of these material, but also at the right price and in the right time frame. Right now, with the high transport cost around the world, the long lead times, this can easily eat into your margin and reduce your production capacity. So you need to be able to store more material, and you have to order longer in advance, which requires more investments. So with everything that's going on right now, in order to scale up local production, one of the main things that's necessary is investment. And in the situation that Haiti is right now, the risk is very high with the security issue. The risk is very high to continue to invest in scaling up production, even though it's absolutely necessary to do so. So it's a very like conflicting uh, uh, situation that we find ourselves in. So basically, scaling will require that you risk proof your upstream supply chain. And in Haiti, risk proofing your supply chain is I don't know, it's kind of a like contradictory thing to say, because it's we there's a lot of extra costs associated with security and delays at the port, and delays in custom. So that makes it a very big challenge for scaling up local production. The second challenge that we have is talent and finding the right human resources, because human resources is actually the next main limiter for your production ability. So you must ensure that you have both the right number of people and the right skills in order to succeed in uh, manufacturing and scaling up production. So this requires a lot of proactive planning, long-term planning for training and upskilling your employees, as well as managing retention to minimize hiring needs. So minimizing turnovers with your employees. That's something that's going to be very important as you scale up your manufacturing business. The third main challenge that we have as local producers is, of course, cost and inflation. Okay, so over time, the cost of your production is likely to increase, and this is normal. This can either be like a steady increase in the case of general inflation, or spikes in energy or commodities due to global events like the pandemic that we just had, or the war in Ukraine, which is like putting a lot of pressure on the supply chain and the price of raw materials around the world. The solution here include investing in more efficient machinery and regularly reviewing your suppliers for competitive pricing, and reviewing your pricing in the market in line with your competitors. Okay, so basically, when reviewing your production scalability, there are three key areas that you need to consider, which is, first of all, technology. Second is the people that you have with you on your team. And last is going to be your customers. Okay. And which brings us basically to the next point of local consumption, because by purchasing food and other goods that are produced locally, consumers really help stimulate their regional economy and help create and retain valuable jobs, and support families and strengthen communities and cultures. I found that oftentimes local products have here in Haiti have been perceived to be of lower quality. Okay, and it's like a perception, and we are here to change that narrative. Thank you.